Hey guys, this is Andy's Corner and welcome to my channel. Now I know this video was supposed to air 4 days ago. I got that. But life happens, technical difficulties happen, but yet here we are. And so I wore the red shirt for continuity. That way when I get more experience at editing, I'll just, edit these remarks out and you'll forget I was ever 4 days late with a video and you'll love me again. I wouldn't be the first person to do that. But before I start discussing this video and what's going to happen in it, please like, subscribe, and if you're feeling froggy, hit those notifications. So today's video was supposed to consist of two things, and it's actually going to consist of one because I can't fit Aly Raisman into this video because you can't talk about a two-time Olympian in what would amount to 6 minutes. Because I'm trying to limit these videos to 11 minutes long. And to split those two just ain't gonna work because she deserves more than that. And I still might make 2 videos out of it because she's got 2 Olympics to talk about and a whole bunch of her life that I'm gonna be quoting from her book and things like that. So that's a video that's gonna, that you're really gonna enjoy. But first, on this video, we're gonna talk about The Legacy of the Bones. It's now on Netflix. So after you like and subscribe and hit those notifications, let's do this thing, shall we? So this is a thing I like to call things I think won't bore you too much. And it's actually, this time, it's going to be a trilogy of movies on Netflix that I think were pretty good. But like I said, you're going to have to make up your own mind. It's not really a review, it's just an overview, and I'm just going to give you an idea of what it's about. I'm going to tell you, yeah, it's worth your time. It's not going to bore you too much. So the first movie is called The Invisible Guardian. And basically, that's where you're introduced to the character who basically runs or drives the whole trilogy. The story is alright, and it's a good story and it keeps your attention, and the first movie stands alone. So you could watch the first movie and be like, yeah, that was pretty good, because it's basically based on one murder, but then they start exploring other parts of it that lead to the trilogy. So, the main character is Amaya, and she is, I should say, the film is a Spanish film, and they added English language to it, which is pretty good. I mean, they did a good job. But when I first saw it, the first movie didn't have the English language. It does now, but it didn't when I first saw it. So it was a little tough for me to watch because I have dyslexia, and I have a hard time. I don't have a hard time reading. It's just there are certain days and certain things that are very slow for me. So I have to stop the movie, start the movie, stop the movie. And it's just a pain in the butt. So I actually didn't really get into the trilogy till the second movie. But again, the first movie stands on its own, and it's about the character Maya who goes to the FBI and is trained, and then comes back to her hometown in Spain, and is promptly put in charge of her own detective agent or bureau, and is faced with a murder that she later finds out she's very much connected to. So this is a lot like Law & Order SVU meets Close Encounters meets Telemundo. So it's kind of like a little bit of everything, and it's actually really, I joke, but it's actually really well written. The story is just fine, but like I said, the character Amaya is what drives the film. So she finds out that she's connected to these murders, and they have more to do with her childhood, her life, and why she ended up where she's at as time goes on. The first movie, like I said, I'm not going to give you a whole lot of details because I'm just giving you an overview, telling you it's worth your time, and give you an idea of what it's about. So by the end of the first movie, though, you do get a definitive finish to that movie, and you go, okay, that was worth my time, that was a good movie. You move on to the second movie, and you explore more about why this is a trilogy and what actually happened to Amaya when she was a child, and how, oh, by the way, in the second movie, you know, she has, at the end of the first movie, she's got a significant other. I don't know if they're married or not, but they end up having a baby. And the baby plays a great big part in the whole thing. Now, a big part of this whole trilogy is flashbacks. The neat thing about these flashbacks are you don't know you're in them until you're in them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're watching a movie going, and it makes you pay attention. Because sometimes you're watching a movie going, wait a minute, that looks a little bit different, and I've never seen that person before. And you find out it's Maya's mother, and you find out more about what was going on with her. Now, the second movie doesn't really add, well, it does, that's a mistake. The second movie adds quite a bit, and that's where you get most of your flashbacks is in the second movie. But the second movie really has very little to do with the first, other than you learn more about Maya and Maya's family, and you know, different things that happened there and all the weird stuff that went on. And like I said, you're not sure if this is a crime drama, you're not sure if it's a supernatural movie, you're not sure if it's a drama, you know, action, and there's a little bit of everything in it. I gotta give it credit. But the second movie is kind of like the first movie, The Deathly Hallows from Harry Potter. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the first movie in Deathly Hallows. It doesn't really have a finish. It just kind of ends, and then you're waiting for the next part. Now, the third movie, Offering to the Storm, is like, yeah, it draws everything together. You figure it out. You're surprised at where it actually went at the very end, because it doesn't start where it ends up. And you watch the whole thing thinking one thing, and then all of a sudden, boom, another thing happens, and you go, yeah, I knew about that. But and the reason why I can't give away a whole lot is because it is character driven. And if I start talking about the characters, you know, other than Amaya, you're gonna figure stuff out. You got just a really good movie, a really good ending. I will tell you this, that you find out something about the character of Maya that you don't know in the beginning, but you start to realize. First, I loved her in the first two movies. I thought she was just an awesome chick and a badass. And then she did somebody dirty in the third movie. And I won't tell you what happens, but she did somebody dirty in the third movie, and you kind of not like her so much. But by the end of that movie, and she doesn't have a whole lot of remorse about it, actually, through the movie. And I think it has a little bit to do with the culture in Spain and stuff like that, that they just see things differently and treat things differently than we do as Americans. And for that reason, I think it's very interesting watch. It's a very interesting movie. But, so at the end of the movie, after all the action and things happen, you find out who's, I can't give it away. You find out who did what to who, and it's a lot of fun. But my favorite part, guys, happens like in the last 2 minutes of the movie. And it's not even a big deal, but it's my favorite part. Because all through the movie, you learn that Amaya, you know, was never really trusted. And never really been trusted. And she finds out at the very end that she has all of that in one sentence. In one sentence on a telephone. I will tell you that much. In one sentence on a telephone, this movie comes full circle, and Amaya realizes that she's everything that she thought she wasn't, and she has everything she thought she didn't. And so for that reason, this is something that won't bore you too much. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope they get better as we go along. You know, as I get used to talking to the camera, because I'm used to talking to people. Talking to a camera is like not an easy thing for me to do, but I'm working through it because I enjoy it and I want you to enjoy it. So God bless you. Take care of each other. And please, 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 please wear those masks. And we'll talk about Ellie Raisman in the next video. I'm going to be talking about some things that are in her book, why I admire her, and for that matter, her whole family. I think it's going to be a very interesting video. I hope you watch. Thank God. Hit the thumbs up. You know, hit the notifications, and do whatever else you got to do to make me smile, because You want to do that, don't you? God bless everybody. Bye-bye.